In recent days, I've found myself in the position of defending all American Muslims. Why? The reason why I'm defending American Muslims is because they are not the extremists that are terrorizing people in the Middle East. We can make that distinction very easily, except for these right-wing bigots and people that agree with the right-wing bigots on Islam. Look, no one's disputing that there are dangerous terroristic groups who use the Islam religion in the Middle East as a fear tactic. No one's disputing that. But here's the thing. A lot of people are so ignorant. They don't know the whole spectrum of the Islam religion. They only know the bad parts. That's like someone criticizing the Holy Bible without reading it. That's like someone criticizing on my side of the argument, the atheistic side, saying the Bible only has bad parts to it. And that claim is made largely by arrogant new atheists. Part of the new atheism movement. Wrong! Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. That's the most positive thing in the Bible. But the point being is, you have so many ignorant Americans criticizing Islam as a whole and throwing American Muslims in the mix of the people who are terrorizing people in the Middle East. This bigotry is so, excuse my French, fucking annoying already. It's unbearable. Look. Here's the thing. Ben Carson, who's running for president, was on Meet the Press today. This is what he said. Appearing on Meet the Press, retired neurosurgeon and GOP presidential candidate Ben Carson said that the faith of a potential president of the U.S. matters and that he couldn't see having a Muslim president. Referring to the GOP frontrunner Donald Trump's town hall confrontation with anti-Muslim bigot, told host Chuck Todd asked Carson, should a president's faith matter? And his response was, I guess it depends on what faith it is, Carson replied. If it is inconsistent with the values and principles of America, then of course it should matter. Do you believe Islam is consistent with the Constitution? Todd pressed. No, I don't. Carson quickly replied, I would not advocate that we put a Muslim in charge of this nation. I would absolutely not. Carson did allow that he would consider voting for a Muslim for Congress, calling it a different story. This anti-Muslim bigotry in America needs to stop. It needs to stop. People are just accusing Muslims only in America and in the Middle East for being the root of all evil. And my side of the argument is really disappointing when it comes to this. Because as an atheist, you have to look at all religions. And all religions, yes, they do have their dangerous aspects and they do have their peaceful aspects. And all religions have their fundamentalists and they're not fundamentalists. And the non-fundamentalists, guess what? They aren't the problem. The reason why I'm so pissed off is because of bullshit like this. Unless you've actually been to the Middle East, unless you actually been to the Middle East, unless you actually seen how the non-radical Muslims live in the Middle East in fear, you can't blame them for not standing up for what they believe because they're fearing for their lives. You can't blame them for that. You cannot blame them for that. That's so stupid to blame them for that. And here's the other thing. Muslims in America don't even condone, don't even agree with what these fundamentalists are doing in the Middle East. That's evident. They said that themselves. They say that themselves. They don't agree with what these extremists are doing in the Middle East. Far from it. This bigotry towards Muslims in America and the non-radical ones in the Middle East needs to stop. There's two Americas right here in this country. The America I live in accepts people of all faiths and non-faiths and only goes after the ones who are causing the problems. But the other America that everyone else seems to be living in is an America where Muslims are the root of all evil and everyone else of a faith or non-faith isn't a problem. Or if they do cause a problem, people talk about them for a little bit, then go back to the Muslim argument. That America I do not live in. The other America, the non-bigoted America I live in. What America is this? What America is this? Since when does it make it okay to tell someone who may be a Muslim, who may be running for president, who may want to run for president, that they can't? What makes that okay? That's discrimination. That is racism. Racism doesn't necessarily have to do with the color of someone's skin. Racism can be anything. Discriminating someone against based on their religion is a good example of racism. History repeats itself, people. History repeats itself. That is evident. The headline that Raw Story put on Facebook was, "No Muslims need apply." You know who they said that to before they did that to Muslims? The Irish. They did that to the Irish. Before that, the Italians. Before that, the Jews. There is a consistent racist bigotry towards groups that are the minority in this country. This bullshit needs to stop. If we are going to progress in this country, if we are going to progress, we have to stop the bigotry. We have to stop the bigotry, find the nuance level, and then go after the people that are actually causing a fucking problem. That's how that shit works. We're regressing, not progressing. We're going backwards in time, not forward. Oh. It sickens me. It sickens me that people have to stoop so low to a right-wing bigoted level and criticize all Muslims and not the ones who are causing a problem in the Middle East, but they put all Muslims in the mix. That annoys the hell out of me. I do not like racism. I do not like bigotry. And this is the shit that pisses me off the most. See you guys. I don't know what this country is becoming.